This drone shot is about to be dope.
Shot. So, alright. Because I could do some crazy stuff with this.
That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. So I just left set because we're shooting this thing for work and it involves live action and drone stuff and animations. So I just left set and I'm all the way out in Claremont, which is like 37 miles east of where I live in South Pasadena. And I like these cities because, let me get out. I like these kind of cities because there's nothing around them, and it reminds me of just like the humble little old towns I grew up in the Midwest. Anyway, driving home, I found this like abandoned church. And I'm really curious about things that are abandoned. Isn't that creepy? Okay, so, oh, and by the way, I don't condone jumping the fence of abandoned places to go explore. Do not do that. This is not what you should do. But I just find it, like, look at this open field. It's just a desolate field at sunset in a small town, and to me that's inspiring. Like, I imagine who ran and played on these fields, or what adults ran this church, and why aren't they here anymore, and what are the stories that used to happen here. I think as a filmmaker, that's our role, is to inspire awe in people. Who knows the stories that happened here, good and bad. Anyway, what this vlog is about, speaking of filmmaking, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm growing my hair out. I'm growing my hair until it's long again. And I decided to do that after I came back from Albania and Italy. I went to the film festival and met a lot of filmmakers, and I was inspired by a lot of the films. And it was just really, it was super cool to be around people who loved film, and it reminded me how much of a film nerd I am. Like, I forgot how much I love those old Italian films and De Sica and Bicycle Thieves and all that stuff. Those are some of my favorite films. Anyway, I got back from Italy and Albania and realized that I'm not as good as I want to be. I'm nowhere near as good a filmmaker and director and producer as I ought to be. I'm very far from where I want to be. And then I had to remind myself that you're not what you want to be, but that doesn't mean you won't be in the future. And progress is slow, it's gradual. Not too many things change overnight. And that's when I decided to grow out my hair, because growing your hair is a slow process. It's just a tangible reminder that progress is slow. And at the same time, I do something every day to try and become a better filmmaker. So every day, I get closer to what I want to be. It's funny because there's even like an ugly phase in your hair. So I had waves, I had butters, and my hair looked good. And then I'm in the in-between stages where I kind of look like a mess and raggedy. But the same thing in your craft and becoming better at something you want to get better at. There's an ugly stage when you transition into like the next. Anyway, I'm growing out my hair. You probably noticed. And the reason I'm doing that is to remind myself that progress is gradual. And you got to take it a day at a time. And that's what I'm doing. Not as good as I want to be, but one day I will be. Let's get out of this abandoned church before something goes down, because that trailer